Georgia fans, put to sleep your little ones, because mommy and daddy need to have a little talk. Hello Internet, this is the Game Addicted Show, and if you clicked on this video, you already know what we're going to jump into, and you can already tell I'm a little upset. Now, before we jump into today's subject, I always like to remind people that if you enjoyed today's content, please consider leaving a like. It really helps out this growing channel. And if you enjoy week-to-week college football action, please consider subscribing to this channel. We cover college football every week, where we use something called the Bpi Rankings, which if you haven't heard of, what are you doing with your life? It's a formula I made up where I look at a team's strength of schedule, their opponent's total offense, total defense. I put it all together and I come up with the rankings, which, fun fact, I did a short 1-minute video releasing those rankings on Sunday, which you could see in the link down below. It's a short one, just 1 minute. Go have fun with that. But with that being said, let's move on to today's topic. Okay, so I just finished watching the release of week 2 of the committee playoffs, and I am not in the best mood of what I witnessed today. I already had an idea how things were kind of going to line up when I saw the AP polls released on Sunday, but I didn't expect this. So instead of going into a rant and telling you what I think about Georgia and some of the other teams ranked, let's play a little game. So the first game we're going to play is who has the best strength of production. And if you're unfamiliar with strength of production, it's just like strength of schedule, but instead of looking at the wins and losses of opponents, we're looking at the best offenses and defenses. So we're actually trying to measure who plays against the best offense and the best defense week to week. And out of these 4 teams, who would you guess? Well, it's Alabama and Georgia all the way at the bottom. But a nice surprise with Cincinnati. I bet you didn't see that coming. Okay, Georgia, so you're 0-1, and it's with the stat that nobody even uses. It's just something I made up here. What about something that everybody uses, like strength of schedule? So how about, out of these set of opponents, where do you think Georgia ranks out of strength of schedule? Well, as we see again, right there in the bottom. But you're thinking, well, it's 66 out of 130 teams. They're right there in the middle. That's not bad. Not bad, but not as good as all these other teams. So, again, Georgia, now you're 0-2. What are we going to do with pitch 3? All right, so let's play one last game. And that is, out of all these opponents, who would you consider to be the best team and who would you consider to be the worst team that they've lost to? Survey says, wow, there's Cincinnati again at number 1 with Ohio State. That's a pretty bad loss. Now, you could debate that with Alabama. You know, LSU's now number 1 in the playoff polls. So, to each their own, you know. Both really good losses. But would you look at that, Georgia all the way at the bottom against South Carolina? Yeah, you're not fooling anybody. South Carolina is not a good team. So after seeing this, you probably have 2 questions. One, wow, is Cincinnati really that good? The answer to that is, yeah, they're a pretty good team. Second, is Georgia overrated? You're damn right they are. So now you're going to argue, oh, well, we've beaten better teams. You know, we beat Notre Dame, which, hey, I'll give you, really good win. And we also beat Florida, which, don't even get me started on them, because that team has no business being in the top 10, top 15, not even the top 20. You can't schedule 2 D2 schools and only beat one team with Auburn and have a cupcake schedule the rest of the way with a remaining cupcake schedule left in the season. So, yeah, no, Florida is not a top 20 team. Top 25, maybe in the back end, definitely not a top 20. So, if that's your claim to fame, if that's why we're trying to justify that you're a top 4 team, you're out of your mind, especially when you have Penn State, who lost to, I would still argue, the best team in the nation, to play in the best conference college football at this moment, and to beat teams like Iowa, to beat teams like Michigan. Penn State should be ranked ahead of you. So there is no justification for Georgia being the number 4 team. Now, what I will say is Georgia's a really good team. I would actually have them ranked at number 10, number 7, maybe, just maybe. But number 4, are you kidding me? What, seriously, again, what is your justification? You're not even a top 2 team in the SEC. I don't even understand that logic. So why, committee? Why would you place Georgia in the top 4? If you have an explanation, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. Please try to justify to me why Georgia's a top 4 team. I would love to debate that. That's it for today's rant. I just saw that and I'm like, I need to do a video on this because I was just losing my mind over such a great, amazing top 25 rankings. I have some other issues, but gosh darn it, that was the one that really got my blood boiling. So with that being said, let me know what you thought of today's video. If you have any thoughts, if you really want to try to engage in this conversation about Georgia, let me know in the comments down below. And again, don't forget to check out, I released a 2-part series on my thoughts on how the playoff committee is undervaluing certain teams, specifically from the American Athletic Conference. So if you want to check that out, it's a pretty long video, but I think it might be worth a watch. But with that being said, I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you guys all next week. Goodbye.